Hey everyone, Johnny Struggles here. We got the Last Starship demo out now as of January, what was it, January 26th? The demo is now available for everyone to enjoy. And if you weren't aware of that and you're just seeing this video, go to Steam, go play that demo. Don't bother with this video. Unless you get completely lost in the game playing the first thing, then come back and check out this video. So in this video, we're going to play the new game. Creative mode is locked in demo, so you can't check that out. You can see it in other videos I have. I have an Alpha 1 tutorial out now, and it covers the creative mode a bit. So in the demo, you can only play as a Praxis, and they have a very short, quote-unquote, tutorial so far. I mean, the game's just being developed, so these kind of things come later. So if you're struggling with the game, as, you know, my name implies, come check out this video. We'll see if we can go through the basic setup of a ship using this play, and let's see if I not screw it up too much and you guys can understand what's going on here. So as you see when you start the game, little shuttlecraft comes, gives you 5 guys. You get this little graphic show up here, fuel loader, fuel pipe, reactor. So we got some supplies here, there's fuel, FTL charges, oxygen, water, food. And these little boxes over here, if you zoom in by scrolling up, is equipment you can install. So it's already here on your ship. And so we can just start installing stuff. So that's what we'll do. We'll go to construction, we'll follow what it says here. Construction, go to install. We'll start with the fuel loader. And just click it in place. And then this says reactor, we'll click on the reactor. And you can press R to rotate. But we'll go with the default setting and then pipe. So down here is cables and pipes, just click on pipe. And these are all free, just click and drag. And I'm going to live on the wild side and do my own line. Now the pipe is neutral, it doesn't accept anything like that. It means that it's not dedicated to any supply. The reactor, you run the pipe onto a reactor in this case, and it only takes fuel, so the pipe turns yellow. And this loader, of course, is a fuel loader, so it only takes fuel, so when you connect it, it automatically turns yellow for fuel. To get rid of pipe, you just right click and hold, and you can cancel the install. Alright, so we have a loader and a reactor, but that's all it tells you to do. So what are you supposed to do next? Well, let's check out what else we have to install. We have engines. Let's try those guys. We have 2 of them. It looks like in this ship design we have like an obvious engine bay here and here. Sometimes I like to install engines on the inside to give more protection from the hull. So if I click on engine and I put out here. So in this view here, it's kind of hard to see exactly where you're placing them. Maybe other people have an easier time than I do, but for me it's a bit difficult seeing what I'm doing. It's got the little grid on the screen, but I mean, after I've used this, but it's a bit easier. But still, if it's a bit difficult, go down to overlays on the bottom right and click on schematic, and that flattens the view. It makes it, for me anyway, a lot easier to see what exactly I'm doing. I don't have that 3D effect blocking the view. So you can see when it's red like this, it means something's not right and you can't place the item. Obviously, when you see the full graphic and it's green, you're good to go. And then red. So the dark red line on the right, dark red lines there, means those are invalid placement points. That's what's causing it not to show up. So those need to be inside the ship. You get far enough back to the right, and then the outside says it's red. You gotta have the back end of the engine outside the ship. Normally I put these inside here, but we have kind of a small ship. So I'm gonna start like this, and I may just push them out a little bit right to here. So then our guy's gonna go install it. We'll put the other one the same on the other side. Plop. Alright, now we need an FTL drive. Put him right behind the reactor. Okay. So we have a reactor, they're doing the installs, engine, FTL drive. We're going to go ahead and run cables. So cable is all the electricity. The reactor produces electricity. So just click and drag, just like the pipes. Only there's only one kind of cable, so it's all the same. You're going to connect these red dots on all the equipment to plug it in. So this is flashing red, means it needs power. And you can probably hear the sound effects, that might be a little loud. Ship powering up. So the engines have electricity, but they don't have fuel. We also have to run the fuel line to the engines, because they like some fuel. The cool thing is you can run pipes overlapping cables. So that's good. Where are we at? One more. Right down there. Okay, and there's fuel loading up into the engine. There it goes. The reactor spooling up for the power requirement from this engine kicking online. Let's go and drag this to the other fuel port. Alright, one engine online. It's lit up a bit. Get a construction here. So it's charging up. And that should light up. There are two engines online. Click on power grid. Reactor spooling down. So one thing about the reactors is they don't provide immediate power right away. So when you go full thrust with the engines right now, they might try to consume a lot of power, but it takes the reactor some time to spool up to that requirement. So right now it's producing 10 megawatts at idle, and say the engines want 30 megawatts. Well, the reactor doesn't immediately produce 30 megawatts. It takes time for it to spool up to get to that point. So one good thing to have is a battery or two or three, depending on your ship design. As you have weapons, you'll need a battery bank to supply immediate power demands while the reactors spool up to meet the demand. So just a buffer. And at the start, we don't have any batteries to install. So anyway, we have the engines installed, FTL drive, which allows us to jump to other systems, the reactor for power to our ship. What else do we have? We have oxygen loader, which will put oxygen into the atmosphere with the air duct. And then we have bottles here. So go ahead and install the oxygen loader. We'll put it towards the front here. Let's flatten the ship again so we can see what I'm doing. They'll put it right here. So this is just where they put oxygen to load into the system, depending on what you have set up. And an air duct is just a vent. So again, you press R to rotate items. You cannot rotate the oxygen loader or the fuel loader currently in the game. Maybe in the future versions they'll have graphics and you can rotate them, but currently they cannot be rotated. So we got that installed there. We need to run a pipe from the loader to the air duct and then plug in the air duct for power. So pipe. I rotated this so the port's right next to it. And the oxygen line is blue. So different color pipe designates different color material or gas going through it. Whatever you want to call it. Cable. Let's run our power line up there. And up one. Okay. So let's get out of here. Out of construction. You can't see the loader because it's behind the wall, but the air duct, when it powers on, will start spinning the fan. Yep. If we go to atmosphere. So all these red X's means there's nothing in the atmosphere. It's just space. It's a vacuum. And as this puts oxygen into the atmosphere, it will start turning. There it goes. Red, this is your oxygen level. It's per square. So if you had like a room with a door in it, the narrow path of this room would have a little less in it and build up a little later because the door is constricting. Typically that's how it works. But anyway, we're just a wide open ship, so everything's filling up pretty evenly. And this turns to a brighter color and turns into a green, and a bright green when it's full. And once it gets full enough, these guys will take off their suits and breathe in the fresh air of the air. But anyway, at this point, construction. I'm going to do one more thing. I'll talk about one more thing. So construction, install. I'll leave the atmosphere on for a second so you can see that as I talk. The fuel here. One very important thing is we want a fuel tank on our system. What happens is this canister here has fuel in it. It drains out as these things consume fuel. But once this is empty, what you have in your system is what you have. And then you won't get any more fuel till somebody comes over here, grabs a canister, and plops it on here. And during that time, you could run out of power. Your engines go offline, your reactors go offline, your ship's out of power, and you're dead in the water. Which can be very bad depending on the situation you're in. Like if you're in combat and you're in the middle of a firefight and you have no power, that's a very bad thing to have happen. So we want to put I always use medium tanks in this. For a ship this size, it's pretty good. And you can put it anywhere. So you can see the atmosphere is good. They took off their suits now. We'll take that away. Turn schematic view back on. And one more advanced thing. I don't typically put this stuff on the edge of the hull unless I'm not going to place anything there. So the exterior of your hull is where you're going to put guns and sensors and other equipment. So the exterior hull is prime real estate. So this is just a tank. It can go anywhere. I'm going to keep it in the inside more so I'm not blocking something else. And I'm just going to put up here on top of the existing fuel line. And so when it's installed, it'll just go right in there. But I could have put it anywhere and then ran fuel line to it. And the tank, you don't designate the tank of what its purpose is. It's agnostic. The tank is just a tank until you run a pipe to it, and whatever that pipe contents are ends up going into the tank. So now it's a fuel tank. If we put a tank over here with the oxygen, it'd be an oxygen tank, which We have a small tank up, and I like to do this as well for life support reasons, which in my Alpha 1 video, which I'll have a link to in the description, the Alpha 1 video goes over life support in more detail, and will explain why this is good. Basically, this just gives you a buffer. So just like the fuel, this can will pump all the extra O2 into this tank, and then when it's empty, they'll take it out, put another one in. This is less serious. This is more for you want a buffer when you're scrubbing CO2 from the atmosphere or processing sewage. Those systems get jammed if your atmosphere is 100% oxygen. Then it's hard to put more oxygen into the atmosphere when the atmosphere is already pressurized. So there's a thing there where this doesn't really expel O2, and you can't scrub or process sewage because you can't push any more O2 in the atmosphere to have room for those machines to work. Like I said, check the other video. I'll get into it in detail there. I'm not going to go into it in this video. But at this point, we've installed all the equipment. Turn schematic off. We have a basic functioning ship. We have atmosphere. We have food and water, FTL charges, and fuel. A little bit of fuel left. And we are ready to go with contracts. There's nothing to do here, but install your stuff and then jump to the designated sector. So if you click on sector map, there's always a destination it gives you for the first jump. We'll do that here in a second. Oh, cancel this, hit escape. Or what I do, clicked off the game. Yeah. Click X. Okay. One more thing I want to show you. Under construction, you have storage. And I do any cargo. So where the docking port is, the first 2 squares in front of the docking port, these 12 squares here are storage that they bring in from the docking port. So when any material comes into the docking port, they put it in these 12 squares, and when the squares run out, basically they can't unload anymore until the squares are cleared and your crew comes and grabs them and does stuff. So it's always good to have some designated storage in your ship for them to take things out of the space and put in here. And now they're going to grab all this stuff and put it in the cargo area. One thing I like to do is, like with fuel, you can designate cargo for all these types. I like to put a fuel cargo area near the loader. So just do that right here. That way the fuel's stored next to the loader, so it's a quick trip for the guys to go from fuel to the loader. And I do the same thing for FTL. And there's other things I do as well for like guns, for the ammo. I put the ammo near the guns. And anything else. Spacesuits, I usually put them somewhere else out of the way because you rarely need them. So spacesuits, I put them right here. And I'll put all these suits out here. That way this cargo area is for your normal transport missions and such. So this will be a heavily used area to get stuff in and off the ship. Alright, so now we're pretty well set up to start the game. So sector map, I'm going to click on the destination. I already have it selected. X out. Click on FTL. Prepare jump. The ship's now going to align. It's loud. Boom. Cool effects. Maybe I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. Maybe a lot of bit. Alright, we're aligned. We can jump. Jump. Well, what did I do? I can't even hear any audio now. Usually there's cool sound effects when you travel through this. I don't know if it's just me or a bug. So we made it. We made our first jump. Make your new ship ready for flight. Completed successfully. Alright. So we got 50,000 space bucks, which is not much. We have a little bit of food, a little bit of water, plenty of O2. Fuel, not a lot of. And we have 6 jumps in our system here. Okay, power grid. So this is saying our FTL drive is consuming an engines and thing. We're kind of at max power, and we didn't have enough power to run the fan over there. What happened was when you land, they put a new. Let's turn this off. They put a new FTL charge in your FTL drive, and this recharges and consumes a lot of power. And since we don't have any batteries to buffer that, the reactor was spooling up to help catch up to this, and in the meantime, we lost power we had like a brownout. We lost power to this air duct and possibly other things. Okay, you can see how they put all the fuel canisters in. Our tank here that's 3,000 fuel. This bar on the top is the gauge. So you can see it's a third full-ish. Alright, so we can go to trade. I want to buy a battery if they have one. 20k, good. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's almost half our cash. Maybe we won't buy one right now. Let's see what we got for contracts. So passenger transport request. So on any contract, they don't have them all available in the demo. There's a couple you can't do. But in the contract says requirements, and here it's in green. Requires at least 24 free cabins. And I didn't talk about this yet because it wasn't required. But up here it says cabins. We have 32 total with 5 in use, which are dedicated to the crew because we have 5 crew. So we basically have 27 cabins of free. And we show that real quick. You can click on habitation deck. This is like the second floor of your ship. So there's a ladder. If you look back, turn that off. There's a ladder on the main floor. Going up to your habitation deck, we have 133 sewage built up. These guys have been using the bathroom a lot already. Okay, but this, you can make this area bigger and gives you more cabin space. It's just click and drag. There's nothing in the game here yet other than just making a space available for it. I'm expecting something in the future, possibly around designing this more. I'm guessing. But we're not at a shipyard, so we have to be at a location with a shipyard to expand our ship and our habitation area. Which again, if you check out my Alpha 1 video, you'll see all those details there. So you can modify your ship in the demo, which is still good. Alright, so we have room for that mission. If we didn't have enough room, the mission would be red, saying we didn't have enough available space. So we can take this one, it pays 48 grand, that's nice. Cargo's good, 15 boxes of supplies. Star System 2, cargo. One thing they don't have on here is a mining mission where you can go mining for material, tilium typically. And those are good missions, but you require certain things. And like I said, on the contract screen here, when you click on it, it'll tell you what's required. The only thing required for cargo is you have a functioning ship, really, and you make a cargo space available for it. But they'll just come and bring the cargo on. So we'll accept this, and they'll bring cargo onto the ship. This says Star System 5. We go to sector map. 5 is where? Up here where it says delivery. We can go there and make a couple bucks. Down here it says hostels. And if you go there, clear that out, you get 85k. We have no guns on our ship. We're not doing that. Oh, we get the mouse over there. Hit escape. Alright, so they brought the cargo boxes on here, which have a new graphic. That's pretty cool looking. Pretty cool. Go back to contracts. So these things went blue, which typically means they're going to the sector you have targeted to go. So System 5 here. System 5 here. So yeah, we'll accept that. We're going the same place. Also System 5. So we'll accept that. So it's like one jump will deliver all these, and there's a passengers the same way. System 5. Accept. So we just accepted everything except this one. System 2. We'll leave that off. I mean, normally I just accept everything and just do all these deliveries, but for the purpose of this, we'll leave it off right now. So right here, we're getting supplied equipment. I think all the people already ran on board, all the green guys here, the gringos. Oh, newbies. So civies. And they're going up, some are going up to the second floor to hang out. Fill up the sewage. Some are hanging down here. They'll wander around a bit. And yeah, trade screen. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy some fuel because it's cheap here at 3,000. There's one thing. Let's go ahead and so with buying stuff, I'll do this real quick. If you press Shift and single click on it, it gives you a stack of 5. Right click cancels anything. Shift right click cancel. So Shift left click 5. Right click cancel. Shift right click cancel 5. I'll buy 5. It's a lot of money. But one thing is with the anomaly on the map here. So this anomaly here gets bigger and bigger and expands across the map. And kind of pushes you to the next sectors. So you get to the next sector, you got to jump here, spool up your FTL, and you have the option to jump to the next sector or not. We're not going to do that. But the closer you are to the anomaly, the prices fluctuate. So resources like fuel and FTL charges and ammo go up dramatically the closer you are to it. And all the equipment, like your engines and your thrusters and your guns, those get a lot cheaper. It's like fire sale. But resources become very precious and get very expensive. Alright, so we selected a target. We got a lot of cargo and a bunch of people. FTL, prepare jump. We are aligned. Oh, yep, there's my starbase. Admire it real quick. It's cool they added it to the game. Back to our science vessel and jump. Everything has sound effects now. All right, now down here it says ready under contracts. That means we have contracts that are ready to be delivered, and they say deliver. You click on them. Down here it says deliver. Deliver all. One thing I forgot to mention is passengers. They consume your resources when they're on your ship. They breathe your air. They drink your water. They eat your food. So you have to be careful about your supplies you have on board, because they will eat you out of house and home. So now they can offload everything. I'm going to speed this up a bit. Twice the speed, maybe three times, 5 times. Yeah, 5x works. Contract completed, 24 people, and we get paid right there, 35K. So a shortcut for speed is you press the number keys on your keyboard. Press 1 goes to normal speed, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. We're back on 5. Alright, cargo delivered. All the money we got. And it increases our rank for logistics. Press space to quote unquote pause, it just slows the game down. So the ratings here, expand this out. There's 4 different things. There's actually more than that, but the main 4 things you have: combat, industry, humanitarian, and logistics. As you complete them and gain experience and gain rank, you get higher tiered missions basically, and you can get more money. There's certain missions that require a certain rank for you to do. So expanding or increasing your rank gives you the the opportunity to do those missions, those contracts. So we go here. There's some stuff here, like this is a 3 difficulty. We can do it, but what are the issues with it being 3? I've got 22 boxes of supplies delivered. Star System 8. You'll just have 6 minutes, so it's more difficult because there's a time limit on it. So these are grayed out. Mining mission, because we need a mining laser. Failed. Drone bay failed. Drone failed. I'm a failure. Mining's always good. Look at these payouts in these things. That's a harder mission though, too, because they have warning. There are hostile forces camped out near the asteroid belt. I've not seen that yet. Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to try that in another game. I've not seen that mission yet. Atilium. I do have a mining tutorial. You can check that out. It shows you how to make a little mining ship and make it a bunch of money. So check out my videos. All right, this is basically. I think this might be enough information to get you started. Like I said, I have an Alpha 1 video that goes over all the systems in the ship. You can check that out. If you want to just go off of this right here and start finding your way through the system, that's cool. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you got any other questions or anything, just ask. And thanks for watching, everyone. Click that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, thanks, everyone. Bye.